What's up guys, Chris here from Vo-Gus Prospect. If you're new to the channel, a big warm welcome, and if you're an old moldy hat like I'm not wearing right now, welcome back. Today's the first day I've been back out in Australia gold prospecting, and I'm getting over a lovely airport flu, and I really mean the flu. It was not nice. And of course the first place I came back to was Dad's Reef, but we're going to show you some of the gold that we've already found. Now you can see behind me here that we've got a large pile of quartz, and this quartz was yielding gold even though our detectors weren't going off, because we took some home. Mick crushed it up while I was away and he pulled out some beautiful looking reef specimens. So today's plan is to go through some of the stuff we left behind. We've also collected several other samples that have given us some very wobbly sus signals. Now they're not great signals, but that doesn't matter because even the rock that didn't have signals in it last time had gold. This is the gold we got out of the quartz that had absolutely no signal in it, and you can see that is a quite impressive result given the detectors weren't going off. And I can hear you yelling, how in the world did the detectors not pick up a bit of gold that large? Well, quite simply, it was in a piece of quartz like that, which is bigger than our fists. So it was literally encased in rock. Now already today we've been up the hill, we've done a little bit of detecting, we found those rocks with wobbly signals, and I've got one with a tiny little speck of visible gold. As I walked up the hill I came across this beautiful specimen of quartz that made the SDC absolutely sing. And obviously if a rock sings at you and it's quartz, it's probably got something metal in it. Now it's going to be extremely hard for the camera to pick this up, but just above my fingernail there is a piece of visible gold. So what we're going to do is actually crack this open with a chisel. We're not going to crush it like we are with the rest of it in the dolly pot, where you want to see if there's a nugget in here, because it was giving a beautiful signal, and this thing weighs a lot. This is the ooh-ah moment, whether or not there's going to be a big chunk or just a heap of little stuff in it. And you never know if you're going to get it on the first split.
That's where I reckon it's going to be, in that sort of grey.
Yeah, well that's where you're finding it when you're crushing it, eh? So other than the bit of gold that we saw in the end, we haven't got any more visible gold, so we're going to go for another crack. And that's just it, you got to keep cracking these things if you want to reveal that specimen gold in the rock.
Hey!
Oh! Oh!
That was worth it, brother.
That was worth the tap. Look at that bit of gold. Look at that bit of gold. It was just sitting on the ground. If you haven't seen the Dad's Reef story, go and check it out. I've left a link up above and you'll be able to just see how we found it and the sort of gold it was giving us. And don't be surprised, it's a little bit of a different video, but it's well worth watching because this, oh, we've got so much more of this to find, Mick.
That's
just
it.
So much more of this to find.
It is everywhere.
It is literally, we're just picking it up off the ground, like it's everywhere. We spent quite a bit of time walking around the hills, both with the ATX and the SDC, just looking to see if we can't find any more gold hiding in quartz. We haven't had any such luck. We've picked up the usual assortment of detecting junk, from bullets and bits of iron and scrap and whatnot, with no gold to show for it. However, we have taken samples. Now this is why we're out here today, because what we're trying to do is discover where the gold is sitting and how much of it may have been left on the ground from the old boys. The sample that Mick just crushed up actually came from the side of a mine. Now this mine is nothing more than a cut in the ground that is perhaps a few feet long and 1 or 2 foot deep, but it's also where we found some gold from our earlier crush samples. So we took the quartz from a stack of ore that was laid up against the side of it. In the case that the old timers didn't know that there was free mill gold in it, we're going to crush this sample, pan it out, mark the bag so we know And if that's the case, if there is actually gold in the stuff that we pulled off the side of the mine, we've got a whole stack of ore just waiting for us. And if not, we can eliminate it. Now you better believe that we've taken more ore than just the stuff that was stacked up on the side of that mine. We took one sample by removing all of the dirt out of the bottom of the pit, digging down till we hit the hardest rock we could find, and picking up the quartz that was out of the bottom of the hole. Now this stuff is original, it hasn't been touched by the old guys at all. We detected everything again, no signals, and we're gonna crush that up, mark the bag, pound it out, and see if they left us anything in the actual cut itself. And we've got two more samples on top of that, which are, we've got quartz with black staining and no yellow in it, and we've got quartz with yellow staining and black staining mixed together. So we'll get this stuff crushed, and then we'll get you guys to water and see what was floating around on the side of this mountain for the last couple 100,000 years.
Nice.
If you're going to spend a little bit of time between collecting your samples and actually panning them out, it's best to mark them, but we've spent such a short amount of time in between, it's pretty easy to know what's what around here. And with a little bit of luck, Mick, gold. Gold. Mick starting with the black and white crush, which is what we detected the gold in first thing this morning. So we've got probably the most hope for this for the new type of ore. Our hopes really reside though in the yellow crush that we're going to do a little bit later. Here we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we actually got a bit out of that black and white crush. Hell yeah, Mick.
Very happy with that.
Oh, look at it. Are you kidding me?
No.
Oh,
About, Johnny.
what?
That's what I'm talking about. I've been dreaming about this, bro. This is the dream.
Look at it. Look how much gold is in that crush. And that wasn't even from the same bit. Oh. So this is really exciting for many reasons, but mostly is that we sampled according to color and what we'd found with detectors. So we knew that the yellow stuff was giving us gold, and then this morning we found that beautiful specimen in the black and white quartz. So we took samples of that, crushed it up, and that's from a quarter Ziploc bag worth of crushed black and white quartz up there. So we know we can go back there now and start hunting that area for that quartz, and we're probably going to find more of it. That's insane. Like, what, that would have been less than a kilo's sample?
Oh, it was 2 rocks the size of a baseball.
There you go. So 2 handfuls worth of dust for that gold. So it is a rich vein, man. When we did the initial maths, it's working out to be between 10.5 and 40 ounces a ton. So we've got a lot of work to do up here. We've got 3 more samples to get through too. This is the ore that we pulled out from the side of the mine, so the mine dump ore. This is undetected in terms of we haven't found a bit of gold detecting next to the mine dumps. This is just a hunch that maybe they left us ore just sitting there. I don't sound sick at all. Now, again, untested, we don't know if anything's going to be in here. And by the looks of it, there isn't, not in that sample. So the only things I can see in there were bits of steel from the dolly pot, and that's alright. So all this tells us now is that we don't have to worry so much about that colour stuff from next to the mine, and it narrows our overall search area down, which only helps us out. The next sample we're crushing is the yellow stuff. So the yellow stuff was where we initially struck gold in the first video. Again, if you haven't watched that video, link is up above. Well, we definitely got gold in that yellow stuff. That's the biggest bit just there. There's only one of those big bits, but there's a ton of absolute nano stuff that you're not going to be able to pick up on camera. There's probably easily like 50 plus bits in that pan, but it is just super fine. So the yellow is holding true. What this realistically means is that we're going to have to go back and start narrowing down the type of yellow rock that we're looking for and not just sampling all of it. We don't want to dilute our total take. Hard rock mining is both new to Mick and I, so we're slowly learning as she goes. If you have questions about geology and what to look for, checking out channels like 911 Mining is the way to go, because they do this all the time and they're very good at what they do. That bag is from the bottom of their cut. We went to the first hole that they dug to take a piece of saddle reef or on echelon reef out. We cleared all of the dirt that had sunk in there, dug through a layer of old gravels until we hit fresh virgin soil that hadn't been disturbed yet. Then we collected quartz from that base. So this is just like the mine dump, a complete unknown, but it was in their workings. So we've got hope that they might have left us a little bit in the ground. We've got far more extensive testing to do to be sure if this is going to be productive. If this has nothing in it, it doesn't mean there won't ever be anything in it. A couple of little
nanos.
So just up the top here, we've got a couple of nano dots. I'm talking 2 of the tiniest pieces of gold you might never see. That's all we're going to do on the field here today. We're going to take this gold home and weigh it up just to see what we sort of got for today's escapade. So I will see you at home. This is the gold we got from those sample crushers, and I'm pretty damn happy with that result. That is a lot of gold for not a lot of quartz. For a little bit of scale, that is a Clash Guitars pick, and just look at this. This is my favorite thing about that whole day. A beautiful bit of reef gold stuck in its host rock from the northeast of Victoria. I mean, this is going to stay just as it is for the rest of my days, so I can show it off to friends and families and show what my dad put me onto. They're doing a little bit of maths where you crush between 1 and 1.5 kilos of quartz to get that gold out of it. So we're going to weigh it up and we're going to see just how much we got for that little bit of effort. Alrighty, we've got the scales teared off and we're going to find out how much gold was hard in that rock. 0.51, so half a gram on the nose. I mean, just look at that. That's so cool. Now, one thing that I can't weigh is this, because to do that I would have to crush it up. I could do a specific gravity test, but I don't think it's really worth crushing a beautiful piece of gold out of the quartz like that, just to know how much gold weight is in there. I do, however, have a piece of gold that is a similar size to my reef specimen. This weighs 0.38, so we know that there's probably at least 1/4 to 1/3 of a gram's worth of gold in that quartz, bringing our total up to a 0.7. Now, because I was sick and not thinking, I didn't take scales to give an accurate weight on the total amount of quartz that we crushed, and that means I can't give you a dollar amount per ton. Our previous testing where we have weighed the quartz has yielded results between 10.5 and 40 ounces. It just highly depended on the type of ore that we were picking up, so we need larger sample sizes to get a more accurate result. We will be definitely going back to Dad's Reef. The biggest problem at the moment is we're coming into summer and that place is incredibly dangerous in summer just due to the snakes, spiders and fire dangers that are all present all the time during the hot weather. At any rate, 3/4 of a gram for very minimal work is an awesome day out just having a scrounge around and picking rocks up off the ground. Now, a lot of you guys might not know that I have a gaming channel. My gaming channel is 89X Gaming. It is in the description below, where I do live streams almost every day and I get to have a chat with people in real time while I'm trying not to break the controller out of frustration. So if you want to be part of that community, come say g'day and have a chat with us live. If you haven't already, please go check out my website that has all of my social media up on it, and that will allow you guys to not have to have an account to check out what's going on in my Facebook feed. So until next time guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. Remember to hit that like, share and subscribe button because that helps me grow the channel bigger and better for you guys. And if this video hits 1 million views by the end of the year, so we'll say January 1st, I'm going to give away a gold monster. That's right, a brand new in the box gold monster to anywhere in the world, but it's got to hit 1 million views by January. Alright guys, I hope you have a good one. Give your dog a pat for me. Peace, and I am out.